Hey, this is Annie.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff Mom Ever Told You, production of iHeartRadio. I just tripped myself up there on the introduction because I wrote Sminty. I never do that. I still write out the opening line every time, listeners.
Yeah. I copy paste yours whenever I do a thing, the outline.
It's wild. It's one of those things that you should. It's like if I think too much about it, then I can't remember it. I just have to do it.
And this is the person who never does it. I think I know it. And then I'm like, wait, I've never done this, so it feels foreign. So I have to go back and look, even though I probably could if someone made me do it.
Right. I mean, it's not a natural way of speaking. It doesn't feel very natural. We have to do this, by the way.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is no surprise to anyone. Well, welcome to another edition of Happy Hour. As always, if you do choose to drink, drink responsibly. Are you sipping on anything, Samantha?
I'm keeping it with my bubbly water. And I would like to lodge a complaint.
Oh.
So we do have a SodaStream, not sponsored by them currently. But my favorite flavor is these bubbly drops. Again, not sponsored right now. That's pineapple. And I think they've discontinued it. And I'm very unhappy. I had a stash, and I think I'm down to my last bottle of it.
Oh, no.
I am really unhappy by the situation.
You should be.
Because it's my
terrifying.
favorite. It is.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to do a whole series on lost, discontinued candy.
Yeah.
So I'm roping you into it.
add that to it. Because I was like, why is it so? It was difficult for a minute. And then I found it on other resources, that you can get as a third party. But I'm so particular about these tastes because some of it is just so over the top chemically. But this is the one that I like. And I'm like, oh no. So I'm doing it very sparingly.
Oh, geez. That's not good, Samantha.
I know.
I feel for you.
Thank you. What about you? Is your box wine being discontinued?
No. No. Fear in my heart. Yes, I am drinking from a box of wine, which Samantha knows I'm almost out. I do have a backup, but I didn't have time to
fill up.
Well, one time you and I discussed, because you and I have different methods of getting out the final drops, and mine involves breaking open the box like I'm an otter with the clam. And then cutting open the corner.
Yours involved while I squeeze it like it's an udder.
Yeah. We're painting such wonderful pictures. I love it.
We have different tactics.
Yes, which is a good segue because I wanted to do a very quick fan fiction update. As you know, we've talked about it. As we record this, it's May 30th. Next week, we are recording our audiobook. So we're having to scramble to cover for that week, for the episodes for that week. So I thought this would be a kind of light update, and it's actually sort of related to your upcoming Monday mini, which I find interesting. So I have finally started posting fan fiction after I spent a good portion of my life reading it and a good portion of the pandemic writing it. And I just have some updates about it. So one of the things, I know we mentioned it recently, and in fact, we got an email from our top of the top bosses today about it. AI.
I did a gulp.
I know, I did too. When I saw it, they were like, I heart an AI. And I was like, oh my God.
No.
This is it.
We're all being replaced.
So I've noticed in fan fiction, a lot of people are deleting their fan fiction because they don't want AI to infiltrate the space or to learn from their fan fiction. So a lot of stories are posting if you want this story, download it now. I'm deleting it, which is interesting. And also, apparently, there's been guidelines posted about how if you don't want AI to learn from your story, how to do that, which strange times we live in. They're learning from my fan fiction story. But as I said, as of recently, a bunch of articles have come out that AI is really bad at writing fan fiction. I'm sure it'll improve. But right now it's mostly comical and bad at it. So that's going on. And I've definitely noticed kind of a decrease, which is sad, but I totally get it. Like I get wanting to protect your story, I guess, from that, or have it not be used for that. I so far have had a lovely experience. Publishing, I've gotten lovely reviews, and I've gotten art made for my stories, and it's very, very gorgeous, and I love it. And that is one of the big things that makes fanfiction is that it's a very like community-based experience. So I respond to all the comments as long as it's not some kind of AI, which I do think happened to me and I talked about in a past episode. I respond to all the comments. We get to like make silly in-jokes and introduce each other to different things. Like, oh, you haven't watched this. Oh, you haven't done this. And it's like not in a judgmental way, but just very much in a like very fanish, oh, you would love this. Like you should go check it out. They know all of the dorky stuff I'm referencing. Luke Skywalker's poncho is a tag. Like people know what I just feel like I'm connecting. And as I told you, I texted you very excitedly last weekend. People are asking me for my schedule now, which is really great. I do know that 50-50 chance that some authors hate that because then they feel pressure to like, oh, I have to update, or like, don't, you're stressing me out about it. I am the person that has a schedule, so it didn't bother me. Kind of, I got like a whole calendar just dated with everything on it. So it's cool. It's cool. There were a couple of things I posted and I'm like, I know this is good. And it was neat to see the feedback of it. Kind of relating to, I know what you're going to talk about in the Monday Mini. So you can write author's notes at the top and the bottom that are just kind of your thoughts about it. And a lot of times it's like jokes or content warnings or something like that. And at the end, I usually post something that's like, I know it wouldn't have done, I know it wouldn't be like, I know it, like a bunch of disclaimers or like, I get it, I know it. And I had a reader respond and say, like, you always say, like, you're always downplaying your work, and I love it, and I don't understand why you always feel like you have to say all of these things as if it's not good or because I enjoy it very much. And she very kind. They were very kind about it. But it was a moment of like, yeah, I do that all the time. Even though, yeah, I mean, fan fiction is the space where you can publish things that aren't super edited or don't have to be like what happened in the canon of it or in the movies or would never happen. And you can know that it will never happen. That's part of the fun of it. But I still feel like I have to explain it and say like, no, I know it wouldn't have happened like this. So that's been interesting too. And it's been really cool to see how differently people respond, like the different takeaways they'll have of I never would have interpreted something that way. It's cool. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. I do get nervous though, because sometimes like I have a chapter that I know is so good, and then the next chapter I'm like, it's not going to be as good as that chapter, and then I get all in my head about it, and I stress out so much about it. And so now I've just gotten where, kind of what we were talking about with Bridget, I just publish it. I'm just like, I give myself a deadline, and it's got to go. I can't worry about it anymore. I'm not getting paid for this. It's not my job. I cannot just stress about it. So it's been a real learning experience. I will say that. And actually, I'm more convinced than ever that you can use this to improve your writing because you do get immediate feedback. And it's, I mean, all of it's been nice, like I said, but you get like this kind of, oh, well, I thought this, or I thought this, and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So that's just my update. I am enjoying it, but we'll see. The multi-chapter story I'm posting was supposed to only be 7 chapters, and now it's 30.
Wait, wow. I was thinking like you're going to say 10 and then it went to
30. No, because all these ideas kept coming. The inspiration was there, and I was like, well, here we are. No, I mean, it's cool because some days I'm just like, the ideas are flowing. Mm-hmm. Other days, no ideas to be had. Which is kind of like how it is with this job, actually. But yes, there's my update.
What's the name of it again?
No, you're never going to get me. Even though, again, easy to find. 100%, very easy to find. But yeah, it's been a lovely experience. I'm glad I finally made the jump to do it. I never thought. Not after like middle school. I never thought I would do it.
I do want to see the artwork. You never sent that to me.
It's really pretty. It's really cool. People are so creative. I love it. I love it. Well, cheers to you.
Cheers.
And to you listeners. If you have any fan fiction, fan art you would like to share, we would love it. You can email us at stuffmediamomstuff@iheartmedia.com. You can find us on Twitter at momstuffpodcast or on Instagram and TikTok at Stuff Mom Never Told You. You can also find us on YouTube. And we have a book. You can pre-order it. There's a whole section about fan fiction in there. At stuffyoushouldreadbooks.com. Thanks as always to our super producer Christina, our executive producer Maya, and our contributor Joey.
Thank you all.
And thanks to you for listening. Stuff Mom Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your favorite shows.